Alrighty. Thank you, everyone who have made it to our goal setting workshop for tonight. And for everyone that's going to watch the replay, I'm super excited about this because this is actually, for those of you that are here, as well as those of you that are watching the replay, it's going to be a lot of self-work for you all. There's going to be, if you've done some coaching with me or been to some of my workshops before, you know that I use a lot of different techniques, including journaling and a lot of mindfulness techniques. And so, what I'm going to go over a couple of the keys of why sometimes we don't meet our goals. We're going to make sure that we spend a lot of time doing that today. So, for those of you that are watching the replay, go ahead if you're watching this on YouTube or whatever, and let me know where you are tuning in from. If you're here live, feel free to drop that in the chat where you are tuning in from so that we know where everyone is from. And if someone happened to share this with you, just a quick intro on myself. I am Tashina Lynette, your favorite holistic business and leadership coach. I have over 10 years of experience coaching within corporate settings, one-on-one coaching, group coaching, workshops, speaking engagements, but it wasn't my core job. So 6 months ago, I took the buyout with General Motors to be a full-time entrepreneur. I also currently support my income by being your favorite Lyft driver and your favorite Turo host, which I'm documenting on my YouTube channel as well. I have one of my favorite quotes here that's an African proverb that is, when you pray, move your feet. My company is Vida Activa, which is a contraction of vida and activa, which is the active life. And so that's what I help people do. A lot of times we set goals, we're trying to do certain things, and we don't achieve them. Who here feels like that they've set some goals and they don't achieve them? Just give me a thumbs up if that's been you. And so we're going to talk about, and we're talking about all goals, right? Personal goals, wellness goals, rest goals. We're talking about every single goal possible. We're going to go through strategies and things and actually walk through a few things that will help you achieve those. So, with that, let's go ahead and jump into the information. So, today, again, our goal setting guide. This guide was created to help you set effective personal and professional goals. It's going to empower you to discover your values and clarify your aspirations. So, again, if you're just joining us, one thing you're going to want to do is have your notes section available for your from your phone and or maybe even paper, a journal. And then later, if you guys know me, you know I always utilize aromatherapy. If you have any essential oils with you, make sure you have those on hand. If maybe you came across me and you got some samples, or you can have any natural scents like a peppermint tea, some cinnamon sticks, anything natural, but I'll remind you when we get to that section as well. So let's start with something you probably already heard of many times, types of goal setting techniques. So one goal setting technique that people talk about all the time are SMART goals. Again, me being in the automotive industry, this was something that we talked about all day long, all the time. Your SMART goals. A SMART goal is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So specific and measurable. Instead of saying something like, I want to lose weight, you want to say, I am going to lose 10 pounds. You can measure the pounds and it's specific. Another good thing to add is for it to be time bound. I want to lose 10 pounds in the next 6 months, knowing that you can lose 1.5 to 2 pounds on average per month. That's very realistic. You might want to even change that a little bit to push yourself a little bit more. But one thing that we have to remember is we don't just want to make smarter goals. We want to make smart goals. We want to make smarter goals. We need to evaluate and readjust. One of the reasons why we do not achieve our goals, we give up on them, is because maybe we put a time on it and we don't hit it. Or all of a sudden it doesn't seem as achievable or realistic. we don't want to abandon those goals. What we want to do is we want to evaluate and readjust. So I wanted to also drop some other types of goal setting techniques because as we're going to get into the portion where we're doing the self-analysis, the self-awareness, to be perfectly honest, not all types of goals should fit under SMART goals. It depends on your personality. It depends on the type of goal. Is it for an organization? Is it for a nonprofit? Is it a personal goal? So here's just a few other techniques. And if you want details, this is another clue. If you're not following me on YouTube, definitely make sure you follow me on YouTube. I have over 1,000 videos on there on various topics. So some of these things I have even more specific videos already, and you can check those. All you would have to do is put my name and then whatever I'm telling you. So for example, if you put SMART goals Tashina into YouTube, you'll find a video that I did on SMART goals where I break it down. We talk about how to make it specific, how to make it measurable, etc. And another type of goal is hard goals. So those are goals that you're going to make sure that it's heartfelt, it's animated, it's something that you require to have in your life, and it's a little bit difficult for you. You're pushing yourself. Another goal setting technique is WAP goals. That stands for a wish that you would have. And this is actually a technique if you actually have a habit that you are trying to get rid of. This has been proven to help with that. So it's a wish, something you want to achieve, be healthier, stop smoking in some aspect, making sure you're clear on what that outcome should be, and then identify what obstacles might be in your way beforehand, right? That's another reason why we don't meet our goals is because there's obstacles that we didn't anticipate. If we try to anticipate those, we'll be much more successful. And then set out a plan. And then the last one is OKRs, which stands for objectives, key performance indicators, and results. And these are usually goals that work better for organizations, for nonprofits, rather than your individual goals. I have a training on that as well. So again, you can put OKR, Tashina, you'll find a very detailed training on that as well. Now, once again, I'm sure most of you have already heard of SMART goals. You've set goals, you've not hit them. And that's one of the reasons why you're here, right? So what are some of the blocks to achieving goals? So we have a group of blocks that are lack of effort. Lack of effort includes underestimating or having unrealistic expectations. That's one of the reasons why we don't put enough effort in. Another huge one is lack of resources, right? We just don't personally have what we need in order to put in that effort. The other one is being distracted or having a lack of commitment. And the other one is giving up too soon. Those are all underneath the category of lack of effort and are blocks to achieving our goals. Another one is our environment is not conducive. So despite here in the United States, what we think of being self-made and all these other things, it really, to achieve goals for the long term, especially if it involves a community, you really need to have a tribe, a community, a MOA, whatever you want to call it, that is supporting you, whether it's just your spouse, your family, your best friend. It just is better to have an environment that's conducive to it. And many times when we go to set goals, a lot of times we have an environment that's the opposite of what we need. So you may have to go seek out a tribe, a community, etc. Your physical environment. There's so many things that you can read about how to just set up your physical environment, how to make sure that it is positive for you. For example, if you're a business person, making sure that you have an office space, or if you have weight loss goals or exercise goals, making sure that you are setting up everything the night before, you maybe even sleep in your workout clothes. There's things that you can make your goals frictionless, have less friction and easier to achieve. So you always want to make sure you're thinking about your actual physical environment. And then your emotional environment, which can be linked to the rest, right? If you have a group of people that are positive for you and you have positive emotions going on, those are going to help you achieve your goals. So if you don't have these things, if you don't have an environment that's conducive, that can be a block to achieving your goals. And then mental blocks, lack of clarity, lack of focus, having doubts, or making excuses, and the fear of failure.
Okay.
And a lot of these, oh,
Yeah,
Carrie, I think you're not on mute
you're
right
okay.
now. Carrie, can you hit mute?
Very good question. I just found out about it a half hour ago. I told Sharon, I said,
Okay. All right. So some of the keys to overcoming these blocks are making sure that you have clarity of yourself, self-awareness, which again, we are going to spend a lot of time here deep diving into that, making sure that you set up a support system, making sure that you develop emotional intelligence. If you're following me, if you're already seeing some of the things that I share, that's a constant that I talk about is emotional intelligence. And again, we are going to do a little bit towards the end working with that. That emotional intelligence is going to help us overcome those mental blocks. And then feedback and accountability. We talked about how we got to evaluate, sometimes readjust, having an outside perspective, working with the coach, working with the mastermind, working with the group is going to help that. And most of us need some type of accountability. We need someone to help us stay on track. We need someone to help us be honest. So again, we talked about that community, we talked about that tribe. Maybe it's just one person, again, your best friend, your spouse, your workmate, your mentor, your whomever you have at work, but just making sure you have that accountability. So, at the heart of effective goal setting lies a deep understanding of oneself. A lot of the soft skills that I teach when I'm teaching in corporations, and I left workshops in the General Motor System before I left, have to do with knowing oneself, like DISC personality for success, or knowing your love language or language of appreciation at work. Four tendencies is another personality framework that helps you understand. Strength finders is another key. Those, and when I do my individual one-on-one coaching as well, strength finders is the basis of it. I find so much that when we start with strength finders, the individuals that I coach, then they know they have so much clarity on who they are and what they have to do that it's so much easier for them to create goals and do their tasks. And so once again, if any of those terms that I just said were unfamiliar to you, you can literally go to YouTube, DISC Tashina. You'll find a video that I've done on that. Strength Finders Tashina. You'll find a video that I did on that. Four Tendencies Tashina. You'll find a video that I did on that. Again, I have tons and tons of free resources. Just like this workshop tonight is free, although this coaching is what I do full time now because I want people to have as many resources as possible. So with that, now is the time for you to pull out the notes section of your phone or to pull out your journal or whatever you're going to use, just a piece of paper and a pen. And we're not going to go through all of these, but for everyone that's here tonight, and for everyone who is watching the replay, what I'm going to want you to do is I do want you to go through every single one of these questions. But I'm going to give a timer. We're going to go through the first two, but I'm going to read them off. And later, again, everyone that's here, as well as everyone that is watching the replay, I want you to spend about 10 minutes on this slide and go through all these questions. So starting with the first one, imagine that in the future you are writing your memoirs. What are the key events and experiences in your life that have shaped who you are today? So definitely want you to start with that question. Start writing a little bit of that. And then the next question, what are three experiences in your life you are grateful for and why? And maybe just write down the three experiences and jot down later when you have a full 10 minutes or so why those are important. And then once again later, I want you to complete the remaining ones, which would be think back to a time when you overcame a significant challenge. What did you learn about yourself from that experience? And then the next one you're going to answer, the next two, what do you find yourself daydreaming about when you have spare time? What do these daydreams tell you about your true desires? And then the last one you're going to answer would be what qualities do you value most in relationships? And how do those qualities reflect your values? And so now I'm going to give everyone about 2 or 3 minutes that are sitting here with me. And again, for those that are watching the replay, you can feel free to pause it, but we'll be here for 2 to 3 minutes. And I'll probably play some music so it isn't silent on YouTube. And we'll go ahead and spend some time again in your journal, piece of paper, or just in your note section, typing up to answer these first couple of questions. Starting now. And let me go on YouTube. So that first question again is, imagine that in the future you're writing your memoirs. What are the key events and experiences in your life that have shaped who you are today? And then what are three experiences in your life that you are grateful for and why? And putting on a little music in the background. Sound therapy is also something I suggest. This is called Weightless by Marconi Union, and it is one of the most relaxing frequencies for your mind. So again, we'll sit here for just a little bit and just continue to write to self-reflect. Alrighty, so believe it or not, that's already 2 minutes there. So again, I encourage everyone that's here, you'll find the replay on my YouTube channel, as well as if you did mark going or interested to the actual Facebook event, I will send you the replay as well. So I encourage you to replay this and make sure that you answer all of these questions. Now, next, we're going to dig into your passions. So once again, I'm gonna go ahead and read these. Let's try to start tackling the first question. And I'll give you 2 minutes and go back in the replay and spend a full 10 minutes or whatever you need to answer all of the questions. So the first one being, think back to your childhood. What activities did you enjoy most and how do those activities align with your current interests? So again, if you're in your notes section of your phone or a piece of paper or a journal, go ahead and start writing that out. Once you've completed that, the other questions you want to tackle are, consider a time when you were fully engaged in an activity and lost track of time. What was the activity? And why did it captivate you? What are some things that you've always wanted to try but haven't yet? And a very interesting one. If you could be a character in any book or movie, who would you be? What about that character appeals to you? So once again, we're going to go back to, I'm going to give you a couple more minutes, so at least try to get a good start on the very first question. I'm going to put some more music on. Again, this is going to put us in a calming, creative state while you tackle these questions again on a piece of paper. We're going to start with the first one and complete the rest later when you watch the replay. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to do so right now to get a start. All right, that's 2 minutes on that section. And now we're going to dive into your personality. So again, I love using tools, as I mentioned, for this, things like strength finders, disc personality, the four tendencies. I love all personality profiles, not in order to put us in a box or to say this is how I am, but just to understand what our tendencies are and to be able to speak in the language of another person. So I encourage you, if you haven't done any of those and you need any guidance on that, definitely reach out to me. Definitely take a look at the trainings that I've done on that as well. But once again, we're going to take 2 minutes to tackle the first question as best as we can. And then later you can go ahead and rewatch this and pause it. Or if you're watching the replay, you can pause after each question to continue to journal and talk about now your personality. So think about a time when you received constructive criticism. How did you respond? And what did your response reveal about your personality? So go ahead and start to tackle that one. And then during the replay, you're going to tackle, think about a time when you had to make a difficult decision. How did you arrive at your decision? What does this say about your decision-making style? The next one you're going to tackle, what are some things that you do when you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed? How do these coping mechanisms reflect your personality and values? And the last one to tackle, what are some recurring patterns in your behavior or thought processes? And why are we doing this? So, as it states to the side, understanding your personality can help you better navigate your personal and professional life. So, these prompts help reflect your thoughts, feelings, and insights. And at a very basic level, certain personalities should have certain goal setting techniques. There's one of my core personalities when it comes to DISC as well as the four tendencies. I tend to be highly motivated on my own. I can be very structured. So SMART goals work very well for me. Schedules work very well for me, but that might not work for your personality. So that's why understanding your personality is actually key before we even get to setting our goals. So we're setting the foundation here, talking about our values, our personality, our passions, etc. So once again, I'm going to turn the music back on for about 2 minutes, let you continue to try to flesh out that first question. And then later you can go ahead and replay this and spend time with the balance of the questions. All righty. So now we are going to take 2 minutes to write down several goals, but then we're going to take just one of them and we're going to go through a process that's going to increase our emotional intelligence and help remove some blocks for us for one particular goal. So we've done the groundwork and we have some prompts here. So I'm going to state some of those prompts. Again, we can definitely use the SMART goal approach for some of these, like by March, I will have, and then complete that. Or we can use some of the other techniques. We do want to make sure that they are measurable in some way, shape, or form. And I know we have a variety of people on here with different levels, different things, right? And these can be personal and professional goals. Uh, Something emotional, mental, anything that you need to work on, I want you to write those down. So I'm going to read off these prompts. You guys can go ahead, go back to your notes section, go back to your journal. Just start writing as many goals that come to your mind after you've done this self-reflection. And again, some of them can be SMART goals. They can be business goals. I know we have entrepreneurs and business owners on here. They can be professional goals or personal goals. So I am working towards, I will, I am focused on, I aspire to, my target is to, I plan to, I am dedicated to, before next spring, I am determined to, by July, I will have, my goal is to, in 2024, I actually should have changed that here. This is the template that I use within in the next year. But we want to be specific, right? Because it'll always be the next year. So in 2024, I will. So again, I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes. And then if it's flowing, don't stop the flow. If you need to replay this portion and keep going later with that, feel free to keep going as well. But let's do 2 minutes on writing down some goals. And again, feel free to make some specific ones, business goals, make some of them SMART goals if that resonates with your personality and what you are needing, but do whatever your heart is telling you you need to, and we'll do that for 2 minutes. And lastly, just a reminder, I am a holistic business coach. And so I help individuals achieve their personal and professional goals, help corporations achieve their organizational goals, but through the lens of holistic health. So it is important that we stay physically, mentally, and emotionally well. And rest is an essential part of our goals. So remember, rest is a priority. It's a critical component of achieving your goals. Make sure that you include that in your daily routine, set rest breaks onto your calendar. This is one thing within General Motors and within the other corporations that I've have been privileged to coach at, that I'm always put a reminder 3 times a day and on your calendar, grab your essential oils, deep breathe for 5 minutes. That will reset your emotions. You also want to have goals around getting enough sleep, taking breaks, and engaging in relaxing and self-care activities. Make sure you have self-care goals such as walking in nature, reading a book, self-development, and then also pay attention to your energy levels and make sure that you schedule your rest accordingly so that you not do not become overwhelmed and you take time to recharge and refocus. So as your favorite holistic business coach, reminders on that. And with that, remember, in our hyper-competitive world, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that success at any cost is the only path to achievement. But we are going to avoid this negative mindset by making sure that we pursue our goals with integrity and compassion, and we always have a holistic approach. So our last step here, what we're going to do is called an aroma boost. So I mentioned at the beginning, if you were here at the beginning, that we would use some time. Again, this is an additional reason why I am your favorite holistic business coach. When I go into corporations, when I discuss things with individuals, we always incorporate mindfulness, visualization, affirmations, aromatherapy, touch therapy, sound therapy, as we've already done to relax our mind and open our creativity. in order to ensure that we achieve those goals. This is one of the major ways that we can eliminate some of those mental blocks. I have a training that you can look up on the 4 stages of learning. In that, I talk about resistance and stress and how we have to have a plan in order to reduce those when we're trying something new. So, one of the certifications that I have is in a group of techniques called Aroma Freedom Technique, which combines mindfulness, visualization, power posing, affirmations, aromatherapy, deep breathing, several different techniques. The techniques range from 60 seconds, which I've actually done with Lyft clients, where you make your mind-body connection, you identify what you're feeling, where you're feeling in your body, and you deep breathe through that with aromatherapy. 2 an hour-long sessions, and I will have some hour-long sessions where you could take one of your goals that you had, again, whether it's a personal goal or professional goal, it will work. It even works with like deep-seated things that you need to clear out. I've had the techniques for 4 years, and it is the fastest, gentlest, best way to remove negative thoughts, feelings, emotions, and memories. So there's going to be 3 rounds that we're going to do with this. Again, if you have essential oils or if you've gotten samples from me, you want to grab that. If not, go ahead and grab something like a cinnamon stick, peppermint tea. If you have herbs, fresh dried herbs, a lemon, you can use like the rind of a lemon, grapefruit, any citrus fruit that you have. To grab like 3 of those. So we're going to have 3 rounds and we end with power posing. I think I'm going to stop sharing here so you all can take a look at me. And in order to start, go ahead and pick one of your lighter goals that you had, something that's not too big, not too broad, not too stressful currently. Like if you were to rate it on a level of you're able to accomplish it already and not accomplish it, 0 being can't, 10 being can accomplish, pick something that's like in the middle, a 5. Now, when you picture that situation, what feeling comes up? Are you feeling frustrated, a little bit of fear, a little bit of sadness, overwhelmed? What's the one word feeling that you have when picturing that? And if you've been using your notes, you can go ahead and keep using that to write it down if it's helpful. And now this is an important part. Where are you feeling that in your body? You're feeling it in your neck. You're feeling it in your head, shoulders, solar plexus, your gut, or you even can have it just in a position that's making you feel slouched over, etc. And then identify if there's a negative thought attached to that. So situation or minor goal, the negative feeling that's got us a little bit blocked, where we're feeling in the body, and what's that negative thought that's coming. And with that, what we're going to do is we're going to close our eyes and we're going to use these tools for increasing our emotional intelligence and releasing negativity to alleviate that. So this technique was created by a therapist, and the recommended essential oils that are to be used are lavender, 1 drop, 1 drop of frankincense, and 1 drop of a blend called Stress Away. So again, if you've run across me and were invited to this, you may have this on a little pad as a sample for you. And prior to the next 1 hour session that I will be offering, you can request that I send you a sample in the mail if you don't have it. In the meantime, again, you can use something like, if you have anything that's natural and floral scented or a little bit spicy and grounding, you can go ahead and use that. And so we're going to deep breathe for 2 minutes into this situation that came up when you thought of your goal and that feeling. So breathing in through your nose and then breathing out through your mouth. Long breaths out, breathing in, smelling that scent that you have, breathing out through your nose. With your eyes closed, picturing the situation that came up when you thought of that goal, whatever that resistance was, and breathing into that picture, breathing into that space in your body, letting that emotion come through, and deep breathing into that. And we're going to do that for 2 minutes. And whatever comes through, just allow it to come through. One of the things that was mentioned in the trauma writing class that I did, again, you can go check that out as well, with the trauma writing expert, is that emotions only last for 90 seconds. We try to repress them. We try to tell ourselves we shouldn't feel them, but we shouldn't do that. You should let whatever emotion comes up. So if you had some frustration, if you had some anger, if you had some sadness, whatever that emotion was, breathe into that. Keep deep breathing this whole time. Allow that emotion to come through. If the emotion needs to leak out of your eyes for whatever reason, allow that to happen. No emotion lasts forever. Emotions are like waves. No emotion lasts forever. Just ride the wave for 90 seconds and it will be clear, especially using the deep breathing that you're doing, using the aroma that you're using. That is going to calm your nervous system. That is going to calm your amygdala. That's going to bring on positive emotion. So just let whatever's coming through come through right now. Deep breathing for another minute into that situation. And you may see that it changes, may dissolve, may break apart, or may change into something else. May fade away, may break away, but just continue to deep breathe into it for as long as you need to. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing into that space in your body and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. About 15 more seconds. All right, so that is the first round of that. Now for the next round, what we're going to do is drift into an image that represents strength. So we have our goal and we have maybe a situation that is a little bit frustrating related to that goal. Now we're going to think about that goal, but with an image that represents strength. So this could be a very personal image, or it could be something like a strong tree, a mountain, a beloved parent, an admired teacher, a place in nature that feels sacred, that makes you feel just calm and at ease, but strong and able to do whatever you need. So go ahead and close your eyes and get that picture clearly in your mind. And we're going to go ahead and deep breathe with that. With, if you only have one scent of this, you can definitely use the same blend, or you can do something grounding, any tree oil. Frankincense by itself would work, but something that's just extremely grounding, which most of the tree essential oils are. Again, if you have maybe something spicy would be good. A cinnamon stick if you use something different the first round, but we're going to go ahead and deep breathe with that for 2 minutes. So again, you're going to close your eyes, deep belly breath, breathing in the aroma that you have and breathing out. And I want to hear your breath and picturing this image of strength, picturing it so clear in your mind and feeling an emotion wash over you that scene or picture brings to you. Breathing in, deep breathing into that picture. And as you're looking at that picture, just imagine almost yourself becoming one with whatever that is. Breathing in, breathing out. It's a scene, if it's a place, allow yourself to feel everything that is there. If it's a place in nature, just to hear and to see and to feel everything that is in that picture and that image. Breathing into it, feeling the emotion that that brings, the strength, the groundedness, and feeling that all over your body. Breathing in, breathing out. Another 30 seconds, concentrating on that image, on that feeling of strength from the top of your head all the way down to your toes, letting it overtake every single cell in your body, knowing that every breath you take, you're getting stronger and better. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. All right, that's 2 minutes with that. And now, the last round, we're going to do deep breathing for 2 minutes. And then after that, we're going to have an affirmation that we're going to say with that same, whatever blend that we choose or scent that we choose that is related to this. So it could be the affirmation could actually just be our goal, whatever it was, or you could create it in a I feel something in a part of my body as I complete whatever action. So I feel happiness in my heart as I exercise every day, something like that. So just make sure that you have clearly out either your goal or your affirmation. But I want you to picture yourself doing a positive action that will move that goal forward, move that situation forward, and also identify a positive feeling that you will have when you complete that action. And then find where you will have this in your body. And again, that can possibly create an affirmation for you. So I feel joy in my heart as I contact one business prospect every morning. I feel peace in my gut as I make peace with my mother, whatever it may be. Again, it can be a personal goal. I feel joy in my heart as I awake with energy every morning. Whatever resonates with you, just make sure you have that clearly. And again, so for this, you could have an essential oil blend that's citrusy. Citrus always equals happy. You could have an orange. You could peel, like just scratch the orange peel and smell that. If you don't have any essential oils, you could use, there's a blend called Believe. That's always a good one for this. But we are going to now last deep breathing for 2 minutes in this. So closing your eyes and picturing yourself doing the positive action to move this goal forward. Positive action to move the situation forward, whether it's personal or something different. So breathing this in and breathing out and just feeling that feeling, the joy in your heart, the peace in your chest, whatever that feeling is that you are getting because this action is already done. It's already complete. You are picturing it in your mind and you are feeling that feeling now overtake your body. You already brought up all the strength, and now that is pushing us forward, and we're moving, completing everything with joy. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Clearly picturing in your mind's eye, doing the thing to move forward, doing the thing to complete that action, to move the situation forward, to get on the other side. It's already happened. It's already done. It's already a certainty. And feel how that feels in your body as you move forward. Deep breathing into that sensation, that feeling, that certainty for 30 more seconds. 15 more seconds. All right, and that's it. And then the last step is we do it with a power pose. So there is a video by TED Talk by Amy Cuddy. She has a book called Presence. I learned about this way prior to this technique. It's something I used to do all the time before an interview or when I felt nervous. Power posing is putting your body in a position that gives you the emotion you want to feel. It's called power posing because it started out with high power poses like victory, Superman or Superwoman, um, thrusting your hand in the air after you complete something. Doing something powerful makes you feel powerful. It goes both ways. So you can also do something if yours is peaceful. You can actually do something that's grounding, putting your hands together is grounding, putting your hand over your heart is grounding. That could be your peaceful pose as well. Um, But what we're going to do is, so I will demonstrate again for those of you there. Everyone here has their cameras off, which is perfectly fine, and your sound is down, but you want to actually say your affirmation out loud. You want to hear it go over your vocal cords, and you're going to smell whatever scent you have. Again, this could be something citrusy, it could be a blend of essential oils. You're going to smell it and then power pose while saying your affirmation. So I feel joy in my heart as I contact one business prospect per day. So smell the oil. Power pose. I feel joy in my heart as I contact one business prospect per day. Because no, again, I'm a full-time entrepreneur, full-time business coach. I have a lot of prospects to contact, so that's one that works for me. But whatever your goal is, whatever your personal goal is, you're going to do that. I'm actually going to go on mute as well, but I'm going to set it for 2 minutes. Again, if you do the replay, and for those that are watching the replay from the beginning, you want to make sure that you do this as well. So 2 minutes. One more minute. Again, smell whatever scent you have. Deep breathe it out. Power pose while saying your affirmation. Breathe in the oil. Power pose while saying your affirmation. 35 more seconds. Breathe in the oil. Power pose while stating your affirmation. 25 more seconds. In. Power pose while saying your affirmation. 15 more seconds. Alrighty, and that is 2 minutes. So that is what I had to share with everyone today. If anyone would like to state something in the chat, any thoughts, comments, questions, or if you want to come off mute, you can feel free to come off mute. Let me know how you guys feel.
Hello
Hello.
there. I can do that. I was busy doing my hair. I was doing some things like
That's so funny. I do that all the time.
that. But do you know when I was just going to say, well, to be honest, I thought I don't know why that happens because I am honest, but I never been on met you before. I don't even know how it came up on my Facebook, but it did. I don't even something because normally so much comes up. I'm like, yeah, well, but somehow something. I think it was elevated that piqued my eye. The word when you use the word elevated,
Uh-huh.
uh, and if I may ask you, are you with Young Living?
Yep.
Had to
Yep.
bend. Yeah, I do it the exact same thing. I'm in Maryland, by the way. I'm
Okay.
doing
Awesome.
it. I got exactly what you were doing, and you did it very, very well. It
Awesome.
it was, yeah, it was easy to follow and all your questions and looking. That was what I was going to say is usually with these kinds of things, it's a lot of talk. I thought wait a minute, because I just thought in my head, well, it's going to be on in a half hour and I need to make my dinner. So while I'm listening, I can be cooking. Oh, wait a minute, she wants us to do something. That's what I did. I said, where's my notebook? Where's my pen? I'm not used to that. Like she wants us to do something. And then the questions got really deep. And I thought, well, dang, I'm gonna think, which was fine. But it's like I'm so used to them just talking, which you can learn a lot too.
Right.
But you put a lot of action into it, which gets my mind going. When you talk about some people work well with schedules, some people don't. Depends on your personality. And I thought, but the questions, I haven't seen those kinds in that way.
Yep.
I have amazing upline, thank God. I mean, they are amazing. And there's a lady there that does this Roma Freedom technique. And I, the way you did it, exactly how she does it, but all the other things that you did prior to that, I was like, those are some really good questions to stop and think about, especially
Yep.
this time of the year.
Yep. Yep. So I promised everyone this was going to be a goal setting technique class, like you workshop that you've never ever experienced before. So hopefully that's how
Right.
people felt. So
Yeah.
I am going to go ahead and put my YouTube channel in the
Mm,
chat so
okay.
that you guys can definitely go ahead and get the oh no, that was the Zoom link. It didn't copy. Hold on a second. You got too many windows open. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, copy, copy, copy. If I cut it, maybe. Yeah, okay, I'll cut it. And so here's my YouTube channel. And then I do have a full aroma freedom technique coming up, which I do suggest if you have not been to one. You can definitely get into some deeper things with a full hour of that portion, and you can bring some of your goals after you go through the full process to go through that. And I do usually when I just drop this, I just put this in my schedule today. I always offer like a 50% off discount with the code of 24-hour for it's usually out there for about 48 hours, but because I
Hmm.
have these at night, then no one sees it till the morning. If I had it 24 hours, then it's not usually enough time. But
Yeah.
so yeah, if you can save the chat, if you need to grab the or you can copy and paste those links. Anyone else want to share?
I love your earrings.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
What is it about the frankincense dress away and lavender that creates that thought process and the thinking, and especially when you're feeling an emotion?
So, just in general, using your sense of smell is going to, it is, your sense of smell is the only sense that goes directly to your amygdala, which is where your emotions are stored.
Mhm.
So by making sure that you have that thought in your head and that situation, just your sense of smell by itself is going to dissolve that negativity faster than any other, technique. Deep breathing will bring up by itself some of those positive hormones and push out some of those negativity, but making sure that you use the aromas on top of that does it faster than anything. The reason why frankincense is chosen because it's very grounding. Lavender obviously is very relaxing. And then the blend of stress away having the vanilla and copaiba releases mental rigidity. So that's why Dr. Benjamin Perkis, the therapist, chose those three together because hopefully between having something grounding, relaxing, and releasing mental rigidity, we're going to tackle whatever, no matter what emotion you're starting with, that's going to help alleviate that. That's why he has those three together.
It's the high frequency vibrations of the oils because they're so
Hmm.
pure as well, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep, for sure.
And I can't ever say the word right because there's another one, starts with an S, the sesquiterpenes.
Yes, sesquiterpenes. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
that
yes.
are in the oils as well, gets the mind moving with this, the sense of the smell of the oil.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's frequency in everything. I just listened to a book called We Are in Shock, and it was
Mm.
talking about some acupressure points and another just touch therapy technique. Again, I try to study all of the things, all the tools that are necessary, right?
Yeah.
And they were talking about frequencies and that a lot as well. So,
Oh, yes,
yep.
yes. Thank you.
Well, thank you all for being here. The replay will be available probably within 30 minutes or so.
Okay.
And if you have any questions, reach out to me directly and I will chat with everyone later. If you have any, oh, the last step that we did, almost forgot. Make sure that you do that before you go to bed tonight. Probably be going to bed fairly shortly, it's pretty late. And in the morning for 2 minutes and at night for the next 3 days. From a neuroscience perspective, that's going to cement it into your body so that those things can actually happen. So again, 2 minutes, smell whatever scent you had, carb hose with your affirmations,
Okay.
morning and night, next 3 days. All right. Thank you all for being here. Have a good
Yes.
night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Sydney.